Do 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 do. Wobble wobble wobble. My brain is not functioning at its highest capacity. My brain is definitely at medium capacity. How we doing over here, brushes? You're feeling pretty soft. You're feeling pretty soft. You still have some little goobers in you. Little pink goobers. Oh, man. I guess I need a stiffer brush to clean your little brush cuticles. Alright, let's attempt to fix this fucked up gradient that I made. I kept trying and trying and trying to fix it, and then eventually got so bad that I started ripping up old paint. I just gave up. I gave up immediately. I was just like, well, I guess I'll just fix this giant hole in my painting later. This is what happens when you get too ambitious with the water. When you're painting on paper, especially. Who has no brain today? All right, that's me. I hope you're here for rambly, no brain person, because that is the person that I am. Rambly, no brain person. Okay, so this painting, I'm trying to grade it here, and a lot of the other panels have these gradients. I just royally fucked this one up. So let's try and fix it, friends. Let's try and fix it with the very small amount of blue paint that I have left. Alright, let's just start establishing a new line. Hopefully this will dry dark enough that it will not look atrocious. It might dry terribly, and then we will have to find some other solution to our horrible gradient problem. Here we go again, using too much water. Can you see me making the same mistakes I already made and complained about before? It's fine. Everything is fine. Alright, here we go. Let's make all the same mistakes again in an attempt to fix it the previous time we made these mistakes. Alright, bring that mistake across over. That is a lot of white. How badly mixed is this color? Oh my gosh, y'all. Let's just use a completely unmixed color and completely fuck up our painting. How's that sound? How does that sound? Oh, Lord. Good Lord. This color is way too light. You know what? We're just gonna keep going. Oh my god. The worst that could happen is that I utterly fuck up this panel and have to throw it away. But you know what? We are brave adult humans who are using paint that is entirely the wrong color to do a gradient that isn't going to match no matter what we do. Oh, great. I'm so excited. Is anybody else excited? Fuck. I don't even know how to fix it. Oh, God. Okay. I'm okay. Everything is okay. We will blend. We will use way too much water again in order to do said blending. We will hope that it just dries dark enough, and then we will come back over it with lots and lots of lines so that it appears as though we know what the fudges we are doing. Because if you didn't know already, I have no idea what I'm doing. Don't let anyone ever tell you that art and artists are knowing all the things, because sometimes we are just fucking up all the things. Which is what I am currently doing. Okay, let's paint this much too white blue all over this area in the hopes that it will save us from ourselves and our complete inability to mix a color correctly. I guess we'll just have a 3-color gradient on this goddamn painting. Did I put too much water down again, even though I just complained about it 30 seconds ago? Yes, I did. Okay. I will rescue you, painting friend. I will rescue you by just adding more and more of a color that is way too light. Okay. You know what? We're just gonna go with it. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just go with the mistake. Let's go in the direction of the mistake and just keep adding lighter and lighter blue at the bottom. How's that sound, y'all? Let's just add aggressively lightly colored blue at the very bottom, and we'll just act like this purple was never even here. Yeah? Can everyone just agree to act like this purple never even existed? And instead, we will just have a gradient of ever-lightening blues. That was what I always wanted it to be in the first place. I always wanted it to be this fucking bright white blue at the bottom. That is why I painted it so goddamn dark underneath, so that it would be easy to cover. Fuck. I don't know if you can tell, I'm a little loopy. I am recovering from a migraine, and I'm in like silly brain land. So welcome to silly brain land. I hope you are happy to be here with me. Yeah, silly brain land is the thing. This is not so bad. These two colors will definitely want to be friends if I force them to be friends. Everybody wants to be friends. If you force them to be friends, and they are also paint colors. You know you want to be friends because I asked you really nicely by using way too much water. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but that's okay. We're just gonna keep trying. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. I can't believe how badly I fucked that up. We're just gonna make major changes. That's what happens in art. You know what? That's what happens. You make a giant fucking mistake and then you have to go, okay, well, that exists now. What do I do with the fact that that exists? And today, we're just gonna pretend like everything is fine. I know the gradient looks horrible right here, but we're gonna cover that part up with lines and you'll never even see it. All we have to do is worry about this blendy area over here. Alright, I think everything's gonna be fine. Don't worry. If you were worried, you don't have to. Yes, I could use a bigger brush, but every time I try to use a bigger brush, I fudge it up, so we're going to use this tiny-ass brush for no reason. I am in a mood. Yes, brain, you can do it. Don't give up now, brain. I thoroughly believe in your ability to fake it. Mix, mix, mix. Can I get slightly more mixies in this area, please? Can you please participate in the mixies? I would appreciate that. Oh my gosh, already looks so much better, and we've only been painting for 10 minutes. Excellent work, brain. We all are so... That was a dumb mistake. I just added the wrong color. Well, I was really proud of you until you accidentally painted the wrong color in the middle of your gradient. See, no one will know, except for the fact that I'm live streaming all of my mistakes on the internet. And the internet is forever. Boop, boop. Is it, though? Is it really forever? It's only forever until Google shuts all of its servers down. And then the video is for never. Oh, doof. I am got just doofs for brains today. Wow. Alright, well, it's already much better than when we started. If we just obsessively keep mixing it, I'm sure I won't fuck it up at all. And maybe I should just stop right here and like let it dry a little bit. Okay. Ooh, look at that. I actually stopped before I fucked it up even more. Okay, well, that is not what I expected to happen, but that is what happened. So, we now have a light blue bottom. Doesn't everybody like having a light blue bottom? Who the fudges even knows? While we let that dry, let's get ourselves a little bit of extra paper protection. Wait, no, that's wrong. Alright. Just a little bit of protection from the paint I just got all over the table in my furious attempt to fix my other mistakes. Now we have to fix this mistake, which is that I don't have any of this blue color left, and I'm incompetent at color mixing. So, we're just gonna have to face our mistakes one at a time today. Fuck. Oh my god. This painting is so full of mistakes. I can't believe how many times I fucked this up. It's fine. Okay. So, let's just assume. Well, we know that we can't do the thing I was expecting to do, which was outline this in blue and have it like sort of sink into the background like I have on most of the paintings. Let me just goober all this other goober paint over into this. Let's just use the word goober too many times in a sentence. Brain, can you please focus on the thing I was trying to focus on instead of messing with your paint pan? No, you must do. It is required. Required human actions. Alright. Pour brush. I really need to take a bristle cleaning to it, but that's not going to happen right now. Alright. I need to squish this, so it's going to be squished with our disgusting paint water. Okay, here we go. Just mistakes have been made, and that is okay. We are just going to keep swimming. If I can't use blue to outline these letters, I'm just going to have to use something else. And that is fine. What color do you want to use, brain? Now that we're in the situation that you caused. Sometimes your brain will cause a situation that it's like, I don't want to fix it, that's your job. And then I'm like, brain, we are in this together. Oh, I see another. This is just the mistake painting. I just glued my painting to the table. Oh, look at that. I fucked it up. I fucked it up, y'all. It's fine. Everything is fine. Don't panic. Just move your glue paper over. Okay. I can do this. Let's add more light for no reason. More light, very necessary? Who knows? Nobody even knows. Okay, here we go. I have 2 brain cells. Why are you using the wrong paintbrush? You just thought that maybe that was the best plan you ever had? This is the correct paintbrush. I'm just using this one because it's also blue. Excellent work, brain. Just... Oof. I should have titled today's stream Chaos in the Studio, because that's what's happening. I hope nobody tunes in expecting person good at things. Competent human uses tools to achieve artistic task, because that is not what you're gonna get. You're gonna get blob human laughs at their own inability to have a coherent thought in their brain. Oh, at least I still can outline a letter with a tiny brush. I still possess the skill of stare at one spot and only move part of hand. Outline. Outline makes brain go slow. One thing, not fast 17 things. This is benefit of outline. Boop. Everybody wants to do outline because then you only have one thing brain. One thing brain. One. Oh, hello, my kitted. Hello, sweet baby angel kitted. Did you need something, sweetie? No, you're just making noises for no reason. Your favorite human is not paying attention to you because he is doing constructions. Boop. See, this is what I needed. Apparently, I just need to make brain do outline, and then brain will chill and stop trying to do the thing and be crazy laughing person. Too much confusion energy person. And you can just bloop, 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 bloop. Oh, yeah. That's good. Deep breath. Oh, did I forget to bring my water? Oh, but I brought my tea. Drink your tea if you got tea. 'Cause it is good for you and me. I'm drinking some kind of black tea. I have no idea what it is. And yes, I drink tea. I have this enormous mug the size of my head. And yes, the tea is cold. I just do not care if the tea is cold. I do not care if the tea is cold. I just like the way it tastes and that silky kind of texture that tea has that water doesn't have by itself. Right? That's not just me, right? Tea has a texture. It's not just like me being weird. I mean, it probably is me being weird, but I need you to like move over there. There we go. Thank you for participating in my paint blob. Blah, 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 blah. And boop, boop, boop. Ba-doop. Chow. Boop. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. Beady-boop-bop-bop. 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 Beady-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Boop, 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 boop. Beady-boop-bop-bop. Boop. Boom-boom-boom-boom-boom-boom-boom-boom. Boom-boom-boom. Pshaw. Pew. Get in there, make an N. Get in there, make a T. Was that the best N I've ever done? No, it looks weird and lumpy, but you know what? It's fine. It's fine. Everything is fine. Even though I've already fucked up on this painting at least 7 times today, everything is gonna be fine. We will figure it out as we go. Just gotta keep going. Just got to keep going. Just got to keep going. Oh, yeah, this is definitely helping my brain get center and not be flailing around all over the place brain. I don't know if that's true for other people. Artists never put that kind of stuff in their artist statement. It's never like, I made this painting because if I didn't make it, my brain would be a flaily octopus. And flaily octopus brains are pretty hard to deal with. At least, well, I should not generalize. I never kind of put that kind of stuff in my artist statements. The kind of stuff that's like, if I didn't make art, I would fucking explode. This is the only thing that works in managing my own brain. But it's true. Oh. There's a moth on my painting table. There is a moth on. On my painting table there is a moth And I don't know why you're there, because you're gonna get stuck in paint, you little shithead. Do not get stuck in my painting, please. Dead moth is not one of my materials, so yeah. Get out of here. Yes. Oh, I love these new brushes that I got. This like fat handle, these like tiny little, delicious. Especially after I freaked the fuck out after my last tiny brush got double extra ruined out of my own. We just had this discussion, Moth. Get out of here. Out of my own neglect, I ruined an entire brush out of neglect. The bristles are irrecoverable. And I freaked out about it. But now I have a very excellent new tiny brush that is even better than the old one. And I know much better now how to take care of it. Turns out, making lots of stupid mistakes is just part of making the thing. Not knowing how to clean acrylic out of a brush is part of making paintings. Oof. So strange during quarantine, like, for my entire history of my art practice, I never ever made paintings until like 2019 in December. And then all of a sudden I'm like, now I'm a painter. So that's been interesting. I even applied to a painting award. We shall see what happens. Whoosh. Somebody asked me if I would make prints and sell them of these panels specifically. And I keep going back and forth. Like, on the one hand, that would be cool. I want people to, like, has panel arts. And then on the other hand, I'm like, but this is hard. I'm such a wimp. Like, if it required literally no effort, I would probably do it. Like, if it just required me making the decision, and then I didn't have to actually, like, talk to a printer and decide on paper and, like, all that stuff, I would probably do it. It would be interesting to see, like, these are very objecty, like, or objecty? Is that even a fucking word? Who knows? Like, their edges curl and they have a lot of wrinkles in them and stuff. It would be interesting to see how that kind of material texture, like, translates into a print, which I'm sure has been done before. Like, not all prints are made for printmaking, obviously, so I'm sure there's lots of prints that translate material textures, but oh no, y'all, the rice timer. I must interrupt this live stream to go into the kitchen and do rice things. Y'all want to come with me to the kitchen? Okay, we're gonna, hopefully you don't get seasick, because I'm gonna move your body or your face or whatever. Here we go. Yeah. All right, let's go do rice. Oh, legs. Look at my cute pants. I made them. They are adorable. I like them so much. Okay, there's a dog. She's taking the naps. There's the rest of the paintings. That's right. This is my painting hovel. Plant. Do 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 do. This is the kitchen. This is the timer that's going off. Timer. This is my donabe, which is like a ceramic rice cooking pot. And the rice is soaked. And so now you get to be on fire. All right, I have to put you down so I can light matches and stuff. Ooh, does that work at all? No. Totally ineffective. All right, well. Turns out I don't know how to carry a live stream camera and light matches so I can light my stove, so Y'all can just have a terrible angle while I do this. Floop. Put it on 5. Fire. And then we need to do the timer for 20 minutes. And then we'll go back to the studio and y'all can come back and turn off the rice with me in 20 minutes. Oh, we should put these away. Ooh, open sesame. All right, don't ignore there's no dirty dishes there. Ignore that. But look at the pretty outside. We can't actually go out there because I will lose all the internets. So every single internets. All right. Thank you for sticking with me through doing rice. This is very important when you are an artist to have enough snacks. Let's see if I can move you so that you have like slightly better. There you go. Oof. All right, we're back from our tasty rice intermission, and now we shall resume hitting the live stream with our body so that it wiggles constantly. Excellent work, brain. All right. Back to our regularly scheduled tiny lines. Tiny lines. Tiny lines. Tiny lines. Make sure that this paper doesn't actually get painted to the table. There we go. Look at that. We're already halfway done with this headline. I've gotten so much faster at these. Turns out, what are the techniques to paint around headlines as quickly as possible? They include do the entire top line of a bunch of letters, then do the entire bottom line of a bunch of letters, and then go back and fill in. It goes much faster if you just I'm here, I'm going bloop, and then around this little bloop area, and here. Yeah, so then you get one whole line on the top, and then one whole line on the bottom. And then once you get that, you can just fill in the little white bits. I honestly still have the problem of just having way too much water on my brush. So then I have to there's a tiny puddle of water that I have to absorb a tiny amount of liquid and then move it around so that it doesn't fuck up the bleed all over the place. All right, 2 words left. We can do it because we are very advanced adult humans who can do things. Okay. Shoop. Boop, 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 boop. Top line, top line. Let's just do the top line for both of them. You will be very advanced and do entire top line for 2 words. I guess there's also just sort of each letter form has an order that I do them in. The A's and Do the little hat part of the D first. Alright, now let's do the bottom line. Look at that. So fast. So pretty. Alright, here we go. Bloop. Alright. Get a little bit more paint. Do this E, A. It's kind of nice because you can get like the E, A, D, E. There's just like a bunch of the same little curved lines. You can just kind of repeat yourself right there. Makes for more efficient paint do. And now we can just fill in the little white areas. You can do it, brain. I believe in you. Yes. Schloop. It's honestly better to like put your brush tip in the sharpest point of the letter and pull away and not try to paint towards that, but I don't always follow that like advice. You do get a cleaner line, but sometimes I just am being ridiculous and do it the less perfectly elegant way, because my hand just like happened to be in that position. Like I'm about to do it right now, and then A, even though I know I shouldn't do it that way, I'm gonna do it anyway. As long as it's legible, that's all I really care about. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is impossible, so legible is fine. Perfect is impossible, so legible is all I care about. Alright, look at that. We did that whole title. And it's only been like half an hour. And the first part of the half an hour, I was just panicking about gradients and doing rice. So you know what? That was very fast. Good job, myself. Alright, let's like thoroughly clean this brush because it's so small that if you leave like any acrylic left in it, the stuff is the low smell kind and it still smells like an atrocity. It's horrible. Ugh. Oh, alright, we need to bring out the big guns. And by big guns I mean this little brush that I use to clean my brushes. Because sometimes you just can't get, maybe if I bring it over here, you just can't like get the last little bits of acrylic out of it without some assistance. What is that? Why is there cat hair in my brush? Get out of there. I wonder if you can hear that. Hold on, I'm going to do it really close to the mic. While I'm not talking. I kind of doubt it since I'm just using like a shitty cell phone mic. That's pretty clean. Alright, give it one more little rinse. Dry it off on here. Now this brush can go back to bed. And we can get our big guns. Try to do some. Get those cuticles cleaned out. I swear with this brush, this is like a never-ending process to like get this brush fully clean. It might look clean on the outside, but it's still like harboring little bips, little acrylic bips that like fuck up the shape of the brush tip. But you know what? Doing my best around here, y'all. I'm doing my best. Bips. All right. Alright. The brush cleaner is not exactly running clean, but it's close. Alright, we'll retire this guy too. Back to your bedroom. Your brush sleepy location. Okay. Immediately close this stuff because, ugh, God, horrible. And now, figure out what the fudge is we used doing. Alright, let's get our bigger, where did I put it? Here it is. This guy, my bigger brush, which is also freaking tiny. I guess we're just going to do some outlines around these texts. So how do you want to do this, brain? Do you want it to get all green and get darker? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay, I can probably provide you with that. Alright, let's just... Now that I have the background green color, I'm just going to outline where I want the next, because I'm going to do a bunch of rings around it. Oh, I just got brush cleaner on my hand. Gross. Gross, gross, gross. There we go. Don't touch me with that shit, it's gross. It's so slippery, I guess would be the word. Brush cleaner is very slippery and it is disgusting. I get it, because it's supposed to get in there and get all the acrylic bips, but oof, God, it's horrible. Alright. I'll just do all the greens in some kind of order. Everything will be fine. All of our mistakes will get painted over. And we will just trust that while we currently do not know what the fudges we is doing, eventually the painting will just be done. Because I've made enough art at this point that I can recognize when the thing has potential to be good, but currently it's hideous. Currently it's not working, but if I keep going, it will become a thing. And I think this painting has that. I think that there is something in here that I can discover. Not in the chiseling a giant piece of... I don't know, there's always that mythology of and then the artist gets the giant block of marble and they chisel away until they find the thing. I don't quite mean it in that way. I guess I mean it in a more... How do I mean that? What are you talking about, brain? Are you just rambling or do you have actual thoughts? Oh, I see. More of an evolutionary thing where each move you make on the art chessboard narrows down all the next moves that you can make or that you will make until all of the moves have been made and the thing that remains is a painting instead of somebody winning a chess game. Yes. See, this stream is like very good evidence of like the effects that making art have on me personally. Like I started in this very wild, all over the place brain. And making art is giving me slow, paying attention, methodical brain, which is a much more restful state for my brain to be in. Chaos Demon. High energy Chaos Demon is not a very restful state. I wonder if looking at paintings does that, or not even just paintings, but like, do I ever feel like other people's art, experiencing other people's art as an audience member, induces that kind of like restful brain state? Do we want to connect all these little inner lines? I think we do. It's happening. I don't know why that was so important, but it was. It's very important that each little word gets its own little bubble. Except for between state and leaders? Really? You don't want that one? You want to leave that as one thing? Okay, that's fine. I don't care either way. Just want to know what you want painting. You don't have to make the decision more than once. You can just follow the pattern that you were going to do before. Okay. Here we go. Decision has already been made. I just need to follow along. Painting time with me. Hopefully everybody gets to have rest brain and not just chaos demon brain. It's hard to be inside of chaos demon brain all the time. Sometimes you need to just have slow-mo brains. You just need to be having slow-mo brains. High energy brains do not know how to settle. And so you have to put all of your brain into your fingers. All of your brains are going into your fingers. And then they are very settled because embodiment is very useful like that. Embodying things makes them slow down. If capitalism had a body, it would probably be less of a jerk to everybody else. But unfortunately, capitalism doesn't have a body, and corporations do not have a body, so It is very difficult to get them to care about bodies. You can't even really get people without periods to care about people with periods. Unless maybe you give them a period simulator. I've been watching those period simulator TikToks. Oh, I got a rice timer. One moment, I will return. Okay, keep the painting coming. Oh. Okay. Ouch! Oh, I hit my hand on the wall. Oh, ouch, ouch, ouch. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I had a whole saga. A saga of the pie that did not set the way that I expected it to. So, I followed this recipe that I never used before. And it was for a peaches and cream pie. And it just didn't set up quite as firmly. Like it wasn't like fully a liquid, but it really could not hold its own shape. So when I cut it today, it definitely was like slump, and I got very sad. I was like, ugh, made me so angry because I like made this peaches and cream pie, and I invented this this topping, like nectarine jam that I made on the stove, and then I mixed it with white chocolate to make like a nectarine white chocolate ganache to like top the pie with. And it tastes so good. It's like sharp and sour and sweet and like has that like chocolatiness and like unctuousness. And I was just so frustrated that it didn't set up. But I'm going to do science to it. So I cut 2 pieces out of it for Steve and I to have. And once we decided that they're like super runny and like kind of hard to eat, I was like, okay, well, let me do some science to this. So I stuck one of the pieces in the freezer thinking I could make like I could freeze the whole pie solid and then put the whole pie in the blender and make like basically peach pie ice cream. Or maybe if I froze the whole pie solid, I could cut slices of it and you could just eat like peach ice cream pie. And I think it's gonna work. I think I fixed it. I tried some of the experimental piece and like there are some ice crystals in it, obviously from freezing. Like even in dairy, like you'll create some ice crystals, but with the structure of the pie crust, I think it actually works. So I did some science. I think it was very good science. So yeah, we'll see how that turns out. Who's brighter, you or you? I think it's you. Oh, that's way too much paint. Well, moving forward. So yeah, I think I rescue my pie with extra experimentalness. All of this experimenting was done like while I was having a migraine. So it's just like angry and like couldn't talk really well because that's what happens. My brain just can't talk very well when I'm having a migraine. And so yeah, just doing science on pies while I am like blinded with pain and I can't talk. Oh. In between mostly just like laying down and not moving at all. Because that's my brain's favorite activity. It's not moving at all. We got this. We got this. Reload my brush so it's slightly more evenly distributed. Okay. Boop. Here we go. Yeah. The chaos demon slowly abates. Sometimes my brain just needs a chew toy. Brain cannot watch TV show because is not enough stimulation. I shall give you this chew toy. Brain is feeling overwhelmed because been having a migraine for hours and is emotionally difficult to deal with, despite the fact that you've had 70,000 migraines before. Here, I'll give you this painting chew toy, and you can just paint tiny lines. And all of the world will feel fine because there are tiny lines. And how could anything be better than tiny lines? Okay. It's funny, if there is a theme for the entire history of my work, it's been I like tiny repetitive tasks that build up over time. All my first collage pieces, all my huge paper collages, like, they all have this aspect of, like, I would like to do a thing repetitively forever. I would like to do a thing repetitively forever, if that's okay with you. But only a thing I choose and not a thing that other people make me do because it drives me crazy. It has to be repetitive, but also generative. Loves repetitive things, has tons of sensory problems, masks all their stimming all the time, but is not allowed to be called autistic because does not have correct social deficits to be considered autistic. But I got all that other stuff. I know how to behave correctly, or actually more than one kind of correctly. I know how to behave in ways that will make other people comfortable with me. And I project those behaviors in the correct situations. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I feels so good right now. I guess I also don't verbally overshare about my hyperfixations. I just live stream myself painting tiny lives on the internet because I care very much about making arts. So therefore everyone cares about it. Does that count as oversharing a hyperfixation? I don't know. I don't tend to talk about my art with people in person. But that's mostly because I mean, it's not a topic of conversation that most people enjoy, so I just don't talk about it. If someone asks, I'll definitely, like, I can talk about it all day long if you would like, but I don't talk about it without prompting. Unless we're live streaming on the internet, and then I'll talk about art forever and ever. I was trying to think about, like, the relationship of pandemic papers to, like, prosthetic memory, the piece that I did in 2020. The very, very beginning of 2020 is when it was finished. And it was prosthetic memory is a set of journals and a set of videos. They're actually on my channel. You can see the Amnesia Diaries videos are the ones that we used for that AI. But prosthetic memory is this, like, archive of my sort of, like, day-to-day life, I guess I would say. Feelings and events and things, which are the specifically, like, the kinds of things that my memory does not hold well. My specific kind of amnesia lets me accumulate skills and, like, abilities and those kinds of things, factual information, but autobiographical information is just, like, kaput. So, is this the right one? Yeah, okay. Oof. Oh no, it's not the right one. I have to skip down to, oh, alright, I picked up the wrong color, hold on. So they're both archives, prosthetic memory and papers. And they're both, like, archives of my experience, and I see them as being related, but because this was a painting on paper, collage on paper, in the art world, like, what like, awards you would apply to or art residencies, but they're very different because one of them is painting and one of them is, like, an AI that I built. And from my point of view, they're, like, the same family of work. They relate to each other a lot, like, within the internal structure of my practice, but that's not how it's seen. It's not how it's seen externally, so that's okay. There's still a very medium, like, the expectation of medium specificity is, like, still pretty strong in the art world in my experience. Which I think is strange because, like, a lot of artists are not medium specific, but they get, like, really well known for, like, one kind of thing. So yeah, just interesting how the differences between artistic practice as, like, a human endeavor and artistic audienceship and the effects of those two things have on each other. yeah, like how a thing made by a person or people like relates to the people in that thing's audience change often like how that person works. Like I was not trained in like a traditional artisan technique, for example. Like I do not come from a culture that has like let's say like temples, for example. My culture does not have, beautiful temples everywhere where you could like go and visit and there would be a lot of like artistry in their like the way that they're built and their colors and their painting and the sculptures and the carvings of the figures or the architecture, like carving in the architecture, anything like that, or like there's a lot of artistic skills that go into those things. But because my culture doesn't include that kind of thing, I sort of fall into this category of like the individual artist who does visual art on their own. For the most part, I do visual art on my own. I collaborate in like small ways. Unless it's with my partner. My partner and I have collaborated a bunch. Prosthetic memory would not exist without his collaboration. So like what you make is very dependent on the society that you live inside of. And that society is what sort of constructs audienceship as like either the art world or like temple world or those kinds of things. So your ideas and your skills sort of get funneled into those things. Like why is that on my mind? Why is that meaningful to me right now? I guess I saw a TikTok recently. Is seems like a recurring theme in everyone's discussions of things these days. That was talking about the difference between like the individual sort of, I guess, egocentric Western art world that has expectations around like the individual artist and the signing of a thing and the sale and like there's all these different expectations around art within that context that just don't happen in her culture, because art is more this like communal thing that everyone enjoys, and isn't signed in that same way. Like the work is communal and it's all contributed to like fabrics that people wear or like all those kinds of things. What in the West might be called craft, in a derogatory tone of voice sometimes, not all the time, but and hopefully that attitude is dying out. But yeah, sometimes that comes with that derogatory tone of voice of like that's craft and not art, which I don't agree with. So it's interesting to see like this person on TikTok talking about like how art is situated in her culture, and then to think about how art is situated in my culture, America, and what about that sort of like contextualization within American culture means to my work, even though I don't really think about it that much. It's still important to realize like, oh, I mostly work by myself. I mostly don't know how to access artistic community. And part of that is built in by the capitalist structures that I exist within and are not necessarily choices. Sometimes I think like, oh man, I suck at like building artistic community. Oh, sorry, I keep banging you and you wobble. Every time I bang the table, y'all are getting wobble faced. But And there are instances in which I have like participated in artistic community that other people organized. Um, and those are like wild and amazing. Um, but there is some degree to which like that choice is being made for me by my context. The choice of like being an individual artist and not doing that much collaboration. And I guess also there's like, I'm thinking about it today just because of a desire to. So this is why live streams, y'all are so patient, and I love you because like I'm thinking these thoughts in real time and I'm slow. There is a desire to sort of express a need for, reimagine, reconnect with a sense of community within art making for myself, while simultaneously acknowledging that like I really don't know how to do it. I have a desire to do it. I have a desire to like help that become a thing in some way. And I'm hoping that if I continue to express the desire, that through that expression and like the research around it, I will eventually sort of meet other people who are also interested in that desire and like want to do it in a way that includes me, like as a disabled person and as a neurodivergent person, queer and trans person. Like I participated in like a collaborative group once before, and well, I thought it was pretty successful. My contributions didn't feel successful to the other participants. So yeah, that was kind of a struggle to like not understand how to connect with people in that way. So yeah. Community is a thing. I would like to learn how to do community without doing in-group, like, boundary policing and things like that. Hopefully, if I just continually remind myself that I want artistic community, that I will eventually trip and fall over that desire. Oh my gosh, I'm so in love with this. I was so worried when we started that this was just going to turn out trash, but actually it's beautiful. It's such a good blob. Okay, let me turn it so you can see it slightly better. I was so worried about this, and yet here it is, looking snazzy. Okay, here we go. Yes! Oh my gosh. Is it focused? No, not at all. Oh my gosh, I love the colors. That looks so good. Okay, good job, Green. Wow, that turned out better than I was expecting. Okay. Well, I guess, so let's see, what are our next steps? Thinking about this. Text. I do like where this is going with these like exploding noodles, and I want more of that, but I don't think I'm ready to like paint down here because this is still like slightly tacky. We just put like a ton of paint down here to fix this gradient earlier in the stream, so, and I think the gradient is working now. It's not perfect, especially like in here, but there'll be more noodles. So I want there to be like a few noodles going this way and like a few coming out this way to really help bridge this area. And then these two I think I'll leave the way they are, and so I need to work on incorporating these letters, but I don't want to do it right now because I just did these and I need a little bit of a letter break. So I guess, so I have this image from one of the anti-Asian hate or Stop Asian Hate protests, and it would be good to do the same thing that I just did with the letters, like defining the outline around the people and trying to figure out like where to draw the outline around the crowd. So basically to start doing that, I just need to pick like what the first, what the interior color is going to be. If I started with super light pink, let me show you the palette. Here, this is, because we did this like very green boundary here, I was thinking I could start with super light pink, then go to less light pink, then to darker pink, then to the darkest orange, and then walk back out to the lightest orange, and then to super bright yellow. So there would be like this green-orange hat thing, and this pink-orange blob here. I haven't actually done that in one of the paintings before. That's interesting. I haven't done these sort of like, air quotes, solid color sections. It's like this area is green and this area is pink-orange. I haven't done that before, so we'll see. When I have a darker yellow color that I could actually walk all the way out to the darkest yellow. Alright, well, I mean, fuck it, just try it. The worst that could happen is you have to throw the painting away. Alright, so let's start over here on this edge. Let's see, I don't want... Oof, this is gonna be hard. Alright, I don't want this. I guess I should paint the pink to here. Alright. Knock out all the parts of the image that you don't want. I'm pretty sure, well, we definitely want like here, the bottom of this sign like that. Alright, let me just walk this pink up this edge right here so that there's not just like a weird edge of unpainted paper right here. Alright. So if we go along this sign, I'm not actually sure how well you can see this, but I'll do my best to describe what I'm doing. I want to go, let's see, his pants go up here, like this. And then we'll just come across here to this sign. And then close the gap right there where his hand, the bottom of his hand. Alright, stage 1 complete. 7 million stages to go. I need a little bit more water. This pink is slightly too sticky. Alright. So then we go across the bottom of pants. Smooth, smooth, smooth. Okay, now on the other side of his body, we want these feet. And we want this foot. So let's go here. And we'll go up here. Bottom of legs. Alright, up this outside seam. And we my gosh, I cannot manage my amount of water. It's either too sticky or too whatever. Doesn't have to be perfect, you just have to do it. Whew. Alright. I've been trying to avoid getting paint on my hand the last few days, but I'm failing today. Right between those two shoes, and then around the bottom of the shoes. Alright, there we go. This first line is gonna look real bad, but that's okay. We will just come in with lots of layers and get our situation straight. All right. We can pretend like we know what we're doing. Okay. All right, go up here, under the sign, around the shoe, around the other shoe. Oh my gosh. Don't fudge it up. This is gonna look so cool if I can actually do it without fudging it up. Alright. Around the outside of the human. And then this is like a little tiny area right here. So tiny. Alright. Whew! Alright. Okay, so we have this kind of feet and everything. So now we can come over. Where are you connected, human? We have like this big gap between these two people, so let's see. I want to keep this human, and there are these humans right here, so I just have to come up to these feet. Alright. Find the feet.
Streaming?
Yeah. Yes. That looks great. Good job, brain. Good job. Alright. I'm telling you, the first time this outline is gonna look like trash, but we're just gonna keep going. Establishing an outline is like it's so hard and it looks so bad until you're like totally done with like 3 or 4 layers of the outline, and then you're like, oh right, now it looks good. Right around the side, around the sleeve. Yes. Okay. Whew. Okay. Alright. So now, there are these like tiny people over here with signs. But there's this guy back here. That was a good question. I guess I'll keep him. Alright, we got their 2 signs. Got this sign right here. And now we just have to connect around the outside. So let's do feet. Don't put your hand in wet paint, brain. Okay. Bloop. Bloop. Alright. Alright. Yes. Oh my gosh. So tiny. If I had a macro lens, I would definitely like do zooms in, but I have none of such things. So all you get is zooms out. All you get is zooms out, and that's okay. Okay, so we have this up to here. Oof, that looks so smudgy, but we're just gonna have to stick with it and let it dry a little bit, and then I'll come back and go over it again so it doesn't look quite so smudgy. Oh my god, I'm describing things you can't even see. Like, this tiny little line right here is just, like, not dark enough. Because again, I'm painting on raw newspaper, so the first pass of any color is usually kind of crap. Alright, let's bring this over here. Okay. You might be able to hear Steve's drywall videos in the background. He's learning how to drywall in my studio right now, which I just is amazing. We had a rat in the wall who had like moved in with his little rat girlfriend and was like trying to eat the wall, a hole in the wall. And they had like little apartments, and like it was a situation. And then the whole wall smelled like rat poop. It was horrible. But Steve figured it out, and he's like he like ripped out part of the wall. Now he's like, he did all this insulation with all this like purple foam stuff, and now he's learning how to reinstall like drywall and do drywall tape and mudding, and it's so cool. I'm gonna have the best studio. I'll give you guys a tour once the construction is completed in Ratlandia. Okay. Once the construction is completed in Ratlandia. Alright, let's try to just like figure out where the top of the crowd is. Oh, there's Doggo. Very upset that someone is using her personal sidewalk. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm going to thicken this line a little bit because I don't think that's thick enough to paint against with a new color. My hand is not stable enough to maintain that kind of line with another color, so I'm just going to smoosh a little bit more up here. Kind of like with the when I was outlining the text area. The inside line is what matters here, so because I'm going to cover it up with so many other layers of paint, the inside line is really the line that we're trying to establish. The outside line will just get painted over anyway. So. Okay, here, and here. There's so many like tiny, tiny little signs in the background that I want to grab. There we go. Okay, so we definitely want this big sign, but I also want to get these little signs right here. Yeah, that's good. just gonna cut out one half of one sign so that I can get a better background right here. Because there's enough room like right here to get a background, so I'm losing like half of one sign basically in order to get that contrast, which I think is fine. I think once this is all established, I think it'll be fine to have that little bit of missing sign. I don't think you'll notice it at all. Alright. Let's just get around the top of this sign. I originally thought I was going to paint all this background in blue, but if you were here for the beginning of the stream, you know that we had a whole saga about blue, that we can no longer use that blue, so we had a blue related saga, guys. Okay. Okay. Let me just go here. Big fat bead of pink right there. Okay. Man, this is tiring. You have been going for 2 hours, Brain. You're right. Is it 2 hours? No, it's only an hour and a half. Okay, hour and a half. Alright. So now we have one established line all the way around this trunk. So all I'm going to do is go back around it and just like beef it up a little bit. So it's a little easier to paint next to. Okay. So much faster once you establish that like edge. Oh my gosh. Okay. There's just like a few little patchy areas that I'm trying to turn from half pink, half newspaper gray to like fully pink. Which is much easier the second time around just because the newspaper is not sucking up all your color. Alright. Oh, we got one little more spot. Alright. So now I can clean the brush. Doesn't have to be too clean because we're going from a lighter color to a darker color. Alright, so what was the plan again? Light pink, dark orange, medium orange, light yellow, dark yellow. I think that's the plan. Let's see if I can like do all of that without fudging it up. But these second lines will be way faster than establishing that first line because now I don't have to make a bunch of decisions. I just have to fucking do it. Just do it is way easier than make 17,000 decisions about where to put this goddamn line. I think it's funny when you look at my streams, it's like, am I talking about the exact thing that I'm currently doing? Oh, then it must be like, I'm doing outlining of a thing, like the very early outlines where my brain is like more focused on making lots of decisions at once, versus now where my brain's just like, I just have to follow along all the decisions that I already made. It is so much easier to be doing it. I can't just be doing it. I really appreciate all of this hard work you already did. So that I can just be doing it. It's the best. Just having no brains. Oh yeah, that was beautiful. Look how much faster that is. Oh my gosh. Well, I fucked that up. That's fine. I will just do that instead. Perfect. You're doing great, brain. Alright. Oh, I'm just really enjoying right now the part of these paintings that let me really sit with the headlines, like really get to like sit with this protest image, and just gives me time to fully incorporate new information and new events and historical events that like I just wasn't aware of because of my privilege. And yeah, it's amazing all the things that have changed this year. I guess it's more than a year now. Wow. I keep saying this year, but it's more than the singular anymore. This past era. And not just change, like obviously there was anti-Asian hatred and violence like well before the pandemic. But like I was just one of these oblivious white kids who like just didn't know that was happening. Even though I had Asian friends, and like yeah. So yeah, I appreciate this process for that. Giving me time and space and a place to be with all of this stuff so that I can learn it and like really give myself time to change and learn. And while making a painting might not look like learning in the traditional sense of like you read the book and then you write the book report or whatever traditional learning is supposed to look like. Making art is to a large extent how I learn about the world and how I learn about myself in the world and how I learn about other people in the world. And I understand like these people often quote like on social media no one looks at your art for more than 3 seconds, so just keep that in mind when you're making it. I've seen a TikTok lately that said I guess we're gonna need like t-shirts that just say I saw a TikTok. See, look how much faster that was, and even just with two outlines, just with two colors. Here, let me get it closer to your face so you know what the fudges I'm talking about. Even with just those two colors, there's already like a foreground established, and it's really starting to like pop against the background. You can tell it more up here than like down here where there's still some background showing, but yeah, even with just two outlines, it really gives it some heft. Anyways, I was rambling about like people only seeing your art for, a maximum of 6 seconds on social media. But I don't care. I don't care that statistic is accurate for that context. Like, this work is not only important if people poke it the appropriate amount of time on Instagram or whatever. I don't care. So, despite that TikTok's recommendation, I do not take that into consideration when making the work. And I think that's okay. Doesn't mean it's bad to take social media into consideration. I mean, obviously, I'm live streaming my process and my rambling right now. But you do get to choose sort of like how to interact and like how different choices that you make about your work and how you share it, like how those sort of reflect back onto the work itself and how those reflections and ripples in that water affect what you make. And you get to make those choices. You don't have to just like make faster work because the world is very fast. Or I shouldn't say you. I should use I statements. I don't have to make that kind of work. I don't have to make fast work because the world is fast. The world is already fast. It doesn't need more fast in it from me. One of the most revolutionary acts we can do in the current state of capitalism is refuse to give our time and attention to things that we don't value. And if you value slowness and you value being able to like have time for your brain to schmoosh. Schmoosh is a word, right? We all accept that schmoosh is a word. The Queen's English. Schmoosh. And it can be hard, like, I definitely do not 100% of the time. Ratlandia. That's what it's called. Smoosh and Ratlandia. Apparently we're not the only ones who got rats in our walls in the Bay Area during the pandemic. Other local people were like, yeah, we got them in our ceiling. Oh, that's intense. The rats are out here. I cannot decide if this is a terrible decision, and it looks very rainbow flaggy of like, it's blue, it's green, it's red. But you know what? This is a decision that has already been made, and I'm just going to keep going because I don't have a decision brain right now. I just have blobbing brain. Blop, 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 blop. So yeah, like I get to decide that my interaction with the news includes making paintings that take what this 16 panels has taken me like 150 hours so far. Oh my god. A lot of time. I get to spend a lot of time with the headlines if I want to, and that's how I've chosen to this is my chosen interaction with the news. I don't Twitter, but I do make giant paintings. You know, to each their own. Oh man. What can I say? I'm doing my best. I like how the pink, like this particular this protester in front and this protester in front and this protester in front are all wearing like reds and pinks. So I like that this first layer of color kind of like brings them out more from the background. Oh, man. Drink your water. I don't have water. I only have tea. So drink your tea. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, last time I streamed, I finished a panel. There's no way on earth that's going to happen today. We're just going to keep painting until our arm falls off. That is the plan, brain. I like when you paint around people's feet. I've painted a lot of protests because obviously there's been a lot of protests. And I love painting around people's feet because it makes the bottom edge of the painting have this like little whoop, 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 whoop. It's like crinoline or something. It has a very lacy edge, I guess would be the word for that. Bloop. Turns out feet are very lacy. A description no one would ever understand if you weren't literally looking at the painting as I paint it. Feet are lacy. They are. Alright. We've done our 3 pink colors. And by done, I mean almost done. Yes. Be brave, brain. You can do it. Alright, let's get the pink out, and we will go to our darkest orange color. Darkest orange, second darkest orange, brightest yellow, darkest yellow. That's what we have left to do. It's going to be very rainbowy, but you know what? Fuck it. I try to resist the rainbowiness in the work sometimes, but you know what? Today is not the day to resist rainbowiness, apparently. Sometimes your brain just has to make rainbows, and you know what? You gotta go with it. I do worry that someone will like look at the paintings and be like, gay! Because like, you know, I'm queer, I get it. But I don't want all my paintings to just be like rainbow bomb explosions. Although that would be pretty cute. Oh, yes. Oh, immediately pick up the wrong orange and have to wash your brush. If you were here early in the stream, you know that this has been a struggle stream, and I started with like 17 mistakes in a row. And we'll just, you know, we're just gonna be okay with it. Just gonna be okay with the fact that we're fudging things up constantly. Boop, 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 boop. Is that wobbly? Yes. Do I care? No. No, I do not. I don't care if it's wobbly. There's no way to make it not wobbly, so... The only way to make it less wobbly is to just suck less at painting. And the only way to suck less at painting is to paint more. So, you're already doing it, brain. You're already doing the thing that will make it better. You can do it, brain. I believe in you. Alright. Pick up the correct color of orange. Everybody wants things that make their brain go into smush brain. Because smush brain is kind of nice. Brains, it turns out, are really good at doing just too much. Doing too much brains. At least my brain is very good at doing too much. especially in my like work life. I use this metaphor to describe myself as I am like a cheetah. If you point me in a direction, I will run very fast. But if you don't point me in any direction, I will turn into a caged wild cat and be very upset about things. Can you just point me in the direction? I'm not good at just waiting around for people to like do a thing. I need to be running. But then when I am done running, I need to be napping. I want to go very fast and then I want to nap. This is my preferred working method. Which is not to say that cheetahs are like better than other people. I'm not saying that. Just saying that is how my brain works. Oh, y'all. I totally just discovered another thing I fucked up. Like how I declared victory on finishing the last color, and there's just like a giant chunk of it not on the painting. Like there should be a giant chunk of dark pink right here. You just didn't do it. Alright, let's just use up what orange we have over here. Then I'll clean my brush and go back a color, because that's what everyone wants to do in life, is go back a color. Alright, let's fix the area that we didn't do before, because my brain just deleted it from existence. And now I have too much water in my brush. This is a whole situation. Alright. Why do you have too much water? Oh, Lord. Let's fix a mistake by making another mistake. Oh my gosh. Let's just continue to make the mistake you were just making. Alright, stop fudging with it. You're just gonna mess it up more. The problem with painting on newspaper is that, like, if I'm too aggressive, I will just, like, eat the paper with paint. If I use too much water and stuff, I just, like, the paper doesn't stay together. So you have to be careful. Go lightly. Don't pick up the wrong color of orange. Everything's gonna be fine. Everything is going to be fine. All your mistakes will get covered with paint anyways. All your mistakes will get covered with paint anyway. You probably don't stick your hand in wet paint. Oh my god, how many times a day do I have to say this to your brain? Can you please just not stick your hand in wet paint? Yes. Good orange. I love this orange color. Such a good color. It's not exactly the orange that I use for the orange Sky Day painting, but it's pretty close. If you don't know what orange Sky Day is, orange Sky Day is when San Francisco woke up and the sun didn't come up for a whole day. Last year, because of the wildfires, the smoke got pushed up over the fog. There's a painting in the series about it. If you go to my website, blinkpopshift.com, it's the front page. You can see the orange Sky Day painting if you scroll down. But we had a whole day where like the sun just never showed up. The whole sky was this like really intense, like bright orange color, and it was disconcerting. I guess it was pretty scary. And it happened while I was painting this series, and you can see it really clearly in this series of paintings, because it's like you can see one kind of progression happening, and then there's like a dead stop, and all of that color goes away, and it just turns into bright orange. For two paintings, there's two paintings that are just just bright orange. There's nothing else in them. Like a little bit of black and bright orange. That day did a lot of like, did change to my brains, I guess is the accurate way to say it. Okay, so we did dark orange. Now we need medium orange. This is a slightly more yellow color. Yes, brain, it's rainbowy. I get it. I don't know why you're so anti-rainbowy painting. You can do it. All right. You got this. Everything's gonna be okay. I don't know why you're freaking out about it now. We've already painted 4 lines in. It's not a terrible idea. It's just colors. I don't know what it is. It's like, if you make it rainbowy, therefore it is bad? Like, it's like a very irrational... I guess it's internalized homophobia. Like, if you make a rainbow, then, like, no one will like your painting or something? It's such a weird internalized thing. Too bad for you, brain, because this one's gonna be rainbowy. It's hilarious that my brain thinks this is, like, too rainbowy and thus unsafe. Because, like, it's not like it looks like the pride flag. I don't know. You're okay, scared brain. I know. Sometimes things are scary. Including having rainbows in your paintings. Careful, if you get too scared, I'm gonna start making you just paint rainbows until you get the frizzers over it. I love you, brains. But you can do it. I believe in you. It looks so snazzy. Uh-oh. I forgot to plug my phone in and I was about to die. Good job, brain. Is a fear of putting rainbows in your paintings internalized homophobia? And if it is, or is it just an aesthetic thing that you don't like? No, but you like rainbows. I don't understand. Brain. You're so scared of such weird things. Oh, this area is looking so snazzed. I guess it's partially like my brain thinking that if you put rainbow color like arrangements in your painting, then you're not serious. But like, for fuck's sake, brain, this painting is covered in like noodles and like wiggle lines. Since when were we like aiming for serious? Pretty sure serious is like not the most important aspect. I mean, I wouldn't want the painting to come off as like disrespectful to the communities that it not represents, it's not right, but references, I guess is a better word. The communities that it references. But I don't think adding rainbows to things would make people think that you're being disrespectful to like anti-Asian hate protesters. I don't get it. Brains are weird. Man. Turns out paintings take for fucking ever. I just want to get through like 2 more lines of color and then I think I'll take a break. Okay. So funny, I wanted to get 1,000 followers on TikTok so that I could live stream on TikTok. And then I realized I don't like live streaming on TikTok because I can't download the stupid video. Or maybe you can and I just don't know how to do it. Maybe it's like a website thing, not an app thing. I like live streaming, but I don't want it to be ephemeral. Like, I want to be able to look at it myself later on and be like, oh, I wonder how I did that thing. And then, like, look at the stream and be like, oh, that's how you did it. Alright. Second to last color, maybe? Third to last color? I don't know. I haven't decided yet. Oof. Stop hitting your head on the live stream, please. I would appreciate it if you would not fucking hit your head on the stream constantly. Alright. I like this, like, bright cantaloupe? Peach? Somewhere in there. Somewhere between cantaloupe and peach. It's interesting having this, like, one protest sign at the top be outlined because it gives it sort of a neon sign quality, having all of these colorful outlines in this square, like really emphasizing that sign. It's official, y'all. What is it? 1 hour and 58 minutes into a stream is when I start to lose all my topics. Only takes me almost 2 hours to run out of words. Callie, leave the cat alone. We're not bullying cats. That's not our dog job. You want to go for a walk? Alright, let me finish up here and then we'll go for a walk so you can leave the cat alone. Cats are officially not allowed to exist. Dog logic. Even though the cat is older than you and has been in this house longer than you, still not allowed to exist as a cat. Alright. Wow, I have so much endurance today. This is great. My arm doesn't usually last this long. Good job, body. Good job, hand. You got it, you got it. Tiny little lines on a painting. Every little bit get it's a tiny line. Boop. All right. My dream is definitely to like be able to have this entire piece all like, I think it's like 44 paintings at this point, shown all together in one space. Man, I would love that so much. I've never seen them all together in one space, much less other people. It would just be an amazing experience. Because they have such a wide variety of personalities. I think I might stop making the series when California reopens. I don't know. I'm not sure where to draw the line. It's a fuzzy thing. Like, the world is definitely not out of COVID times. I might just keep going, making these kinds of paintings. I don't know. That's a hard question for me to, like, figure out. It's hard to know ahead of time, like, when a thing ends. I mean, it was hard to know. Like, I started doing these paintings in November of 2019. And they grew into this archive of the pandemic, like, as the pandemic started. But it wasn't as though I had, like I knew ahead of time what the fuck I was doing. Man. I do really like it. I think I'm just gonna push over this one. I'm gonna outline over the top of it. It's interesting. I don't think I've done that much. Well, it's happened a little bit down here with the noodles. Oh my god, I just hit a wall. Okay. I'm gonna wash my brush. I'm gonna walk the dog. I'm gonna eat that rice that I made earlier in the stream. Oh, sorry, I bonked you again. Oh, let's just clean our brush a little bit with the world's nastiest brush cleaner. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. See you later. Bye.